Warning: one wrong word can change your entire meaning. Would you say he made an allusion to Shakespeare? Wrong. The doctor prescribed medicine? Nope. Even native speakers mess these up all the time, but you're about to master them all. This isn't just a vocabulary lesson, it's your secret weapon for sounding smarter, clearer, and more fluent in English. Let's end the confusion, once and for all. This is EngVibes, and today you're leveling up your English. Allusion equals indirect reference. Example, he made an allusion to Shakespeare in his speech. Illusion equals false appearance or belief. Example, the magician created the illusion of disappearing. Trick, allusion equals a literary hint. Illusion equals a visual trick. Cite means to quote or reference. For example, please cite your sources. Cite refers to what you see. For instance, that mountain is a breathtaking sight. Cite is a location, like, this is the construction site. Here's a little trick to help you remember. Cite equals quote, cite equals see, and cite equals place. Eminent means well-known and respected. For example, she's an eminent professor. Imminent means about to happen. For instance, a storm is imminent. A handy trick to keep in mind, eminent equals fame, and imminent equals urgency. Enervate means to weaken. For example, the heat enervated the athletes. Innervate means to stimulate with nerves in a medical context. For instance, nerves innervate your muscles. Here's a trick. Enervate means to drain energy, and innervate means to send energy. Flaunt means to show off. For example, she flaunted her new car. On the other hand, flout means to openly disrespect. For instance, he flouted the school rules. Here's a little trick to remember. Flaunt is flashy, while flout is rebel. Grateful means to be thankful. For example, I'm grateful for your help. Now, grateful with two L's is incorrect spelling. A handy trick to remember, there's only one L in grateful, always. Historic means important in history. For example, a historic victory. Meanwhile, historical relates to history. For instance, historical records. And here's a trick. Historic is a big moment, while historical is about the past. Alright, let's dive into the difference between imply and infer. These two words are often confused, but they have distinct meanings and uses. So, imply means to suggest something indirectly. It's when you hint at something without saying it outright. For example, if you're in a meeting and someone says, "It would be great if everyone could be on time," they might be implying that some people have been late. For instance, if someone asks, "Are you implying I'm late?" they're picking up on a hint. The speaker didn't directly say the person was late, but the suggestion was there. This is a subtle way of communicating, often used in situations where direct statements might be too harsh or inappropriate. On the other hand, infer is all about deducing or figuring something out from clues. When you infer, you are interpreting the information given to you. For example, if you see someone with a frown and tears in their eyes, you might infer that they are upset. Like when you say, "I infer you're upset," you're making a conclusion based on the evidence you see. The person didn't tell you directly that they are upset, but you figured it out from their behavior. Here's a handy trick to remember. The speaker implies and the listener infers. This means that the person giving the information is implying, while the person receiving the information is inferring. Understanding this difference can help you communicate more effectively and avoid misunderstandings. Next up, we have ingenious versus ingenuous. These two words may sound similar, but they have very different meanings and uses. Let's dive into what makes each of them unique. Ingenious describes something clever or inventive, like when you see a brilliant gadget and say, "That's an ingenious invention." It's often used to praise someone's creativity or resourcefulness. For example, an ingenious solution to a problem is one that is both effective and original. Meanwhile, ingenuous refers to being innocent or naive. It's a term that highlights simplicity and a lack of deceit. When someone is described as ingenuous, it means they are straightforward and sincere, often in a way that is charmingly naive. You might say, her ingenuous charm won everyone over. This means her innocent and straightforward nature was endearing to those around her. It's a quality that can be both refreshing and disarming. A little trick here is to think of ingenious as linked to genius, and ingenuous as genuinely naive. Remember, ingenious is all about cleverness and innovation, while ingenuous is about innocence and sincerity. By keeping these distinctions in mind, you can use these words accurately and effectively in your writing and speech. So next time you come across a clever idea or a simple, honest person, you'll know exactly which word to use. Whether you're describing an ingenious invention or an ingenuous individual, you'll be able to convey your thoughts with precision and clarity. Now let's talk about loathe and loathe. These two words are often confused because they look and sound quite similar, but they have distinct meanings and uses. Loathe as an adjective means being reluctant or unwilling to do something. It's used to describe a feeling of hesitation or aversion. You might express this by saying, "I'm loath to argue," which means you are reluctant to engage in an argument. It's a way to convey your unwillingness or hesitation. On the flip side, loathe is a verb that means to hate something intensely. It's a much stronger emotion indicating a deep-seated aversion or disgust. For example, you might say, "I loathe unfairness," to express a strong feeling of hatred towards injustice. This word is used to describe a powerful negative emotion. A simple way to keep them straight is to remember, loathe means unwilling, while loathe means hate. Think of loathe as a softer, more hesitant feeling and loathe as a much stronger, more intense emotion. So next time you come across these words, you'll know exactly which one to use. Whether you're loath to do something or you loathe something, you'll be able to express yourself clearly and accurately. Moral equals lesson or principle. For example, the story's moral is don't lie. Morale equals emotional state. For example, the team's morale is high. Here's a little trick. Moral is about right versus wrong, while morale is all about mood. Prescribe means to recommend, especially medicine. For example, the doctor prescribed antibiotics. Prescribe means to forbid. For example, the rules prescribe cheating. A handy trick to remember is, prescribe means to promote, and prescribe means to prohibit. Wreak means to cause, often chaos or damage. For example, the storm wreaked havoc. Wreck is rare and archaic, meaning to care. For example, he didn't wreck the risk. But honestly, you'll rarely use this. Just remember wreak, and forget wreck unless you're writing poetry. Well done, you just mastered some of the most confusing words in English. Which pair surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments, we always reply. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EngVibes for more lessons that make English easy, clear, and fun. Keep learning, keep vibing. See you next time.